Today we're going to do a short Pilates workout with a focus on the soft Pilates ball, otherwise known as a Chi ball. So these are really versatile pieces of small equipment. You can use them for pretty much any exercise, as a focus point, as a support, or to add a challenge. So we're going to run through just a few of the exercises today so you can see what you can do with your Chi ball at home. Okay, so let's get started. We need to be in a seated position. You can sit however you feel comfortable. So if you prefer legs forwards, extended, bent, or cross-legged, that's absolutely fine. The main focus is, of course, that you're in a good neutral alignment, nice and tall through the waist, shoulders drawing down. So from this position, we're just going to take the Chi ball lightly in between our hands, palms of our hands. Just draw your shoulders down. Engage through your lower abdominals. So you've got that really nice connection. Breath in to prepare. As you breathe out, we're just going to extend forwards and then up above our head. Now, as you're coming up, I want you to focus on those shoulder blades dropping down. Hold it there. We're going to do a breath in to a draw down. And a breath out to extend up. Breath in to come down. And a breath out to draw the hands up. So while we're doing this, I'd like you to focus on what's going on through your shoulder blades. So you should be able to feel them moving around in your back. And I want the focus to be on drawing them down as you bring them all down and using your muscles to anchor them down as you extend the hands up. Keep nice and tall through the spine, growing through the crown of your head, and hold the hands down. Keeping it there, we're going to breath out to rotate to the side and breath into center. Nice and tall through the spine, so you're spiraling through your waist. The head, nose and eyes stay in alignment with the ball. So it's a small movement. Coming back into center. Keep it there. We're going to extend the arms forwards. And breath in, draw those shoulder blades together. Arms go in line with your shoulders. Back into center. Swap and extend down. Again, try not to go past the midline so that you're arching through your back at all. You're just going to the range that works for you. Keep growing nice and tall through the spine. When you come out on your next one, I'd like you to hold it there, rotate the palms up to the ceiling and coming up above the head. Shoulders away from the ears, out to the side. Coming up, draw up those shoulders down and extend. So there's a focus point. It's really keeping that movement slow and controlled. It's not adding weight to the movement. It's just keeping you focused on what you're doing. Last one. Come back and draw the hands down. Good. All right, ball off to one side. Give your shoulders a little roll. We're going to come down onto our side to do a little bit of glute work. So many of you are familiar with clams. We do clams a lot because they are fantastic for your glutes. Today we're going to bring the ball behind your knee. Okay, so you may need to adjust how big or small your ball is to make sure it goes in between your knee, and then we're going to come all the way down to the mat. Nice neutral alignment. If you prefer to have a block underneath your head, that's absolutely fine. The main thing is here, of course, we have our hips stacked and we have our waist long, so we have that neutral gap underneath your waist. Keeping your leg parallel to the bottom leg, we're going to start with a basic clam rotation and back down. So when we do these, again, this isn't adding weight or resistance, but the focus on keeping that ball nice and still makes that movement really focused on your glutes. We're going to do 8 rotations. So as always with clams, it's not just a lift and lower, you're thinking of rotating the thigh bone in the hip socket. When you've done 8, hold it there. Parallel, in line with your hip, coming forwards and pressing back. So if you need your top hand to stop you wobbling, then just pop that forwards. And again, this is keeping a really good focus on the movement because you're slow and you're controlled, trying to keep the ball in alignment. So again, we're going to go for 8. Try not to swing about through your hips. If it helps, hold on to your hip so you can just feel when you've got to the end range of movement and you're not moving through the spine to try and get further. When you've done 8, come back into midline, into your knee circles. So circling round, tracing a circle on the opposite wall from your knee. Keep that chi ball in place. If you want feedback on the muscle groups you're using, you can just dig your fingers into the soft part of your glutes, your bottom, and you'll be able to feel that muscle tightening as you're working it. 8 circles round one way, and then 8 back, opposite direction. So your circles can be as big or as small as you are happy to make them. So work in your own range of movements. If they're really small circles, that's fine. And when you've done the last one, hold it there. 8 small pulses in towards your chest. Good. We've got one last one for the glutes. Take the chi ball out, give your leg a little stretch out, and then we're going to put the chi ball in between your knees. Hold it there. This is almost like a reverse clam. Keep that waist really nice and long. We're going to rotate again from the thigh bone, but instead of rotating up to the ceiling, we're rotating down to the floor so the heel comes up, rotating inwards. You squeeze into the chi ball and neutral. Rotate in, squeeze into the chi ball and neutral. So this feels very different from the rotation up to the ceiling. It's a small amount of pressure onto the chi ball. You're not squeezing too hard, it's just to get that lovely rotation inwards. No change through the waist, everything stays in alignment. Good, and when you've done the last one of the 8, we can pop the chi ball to one side. Bring your leg forwards, give those glutes a pat out. Okay, let's come onto our front. We'll do a little bit of work in prone, and then we'll go into our other side of the glutes. So on our front, we're going to go on to heel squeezes instead of heel taps. Again, if you would like a small block underneath your head, then you can use one. It's just to keep your nose off the ground. We're going to roll onto our front and place the chi ball in between our ankles. Now, to keep in alignment, your neck must be long, your eyes must always be down to the ground. So that you can hear me clearly, I'm going to turn my head towards you, but when you're doing it, obviously neck long and eyes down. Your legs should be rotated outwards, So your toes are out to the side, Charlie Chaplin style, and the chi ball just in between your ankles. Shoulders relax down, lengthen through your tailbone. So you can see this very slight lift of my waist when I tuck the tailbone. So we're really engaging through those abdominals. We're protecting the lower back. And we're just using the glutes and the legs here. So nice breath in to prepare. As you breathe out, we're going to lengthen the legs away, lift slightly off the mat. 10 small squeezes. When you've done your 10 squeezes, release down. And again, lengthen the legs away, lift and squeeze. We're just going to do 4 sets. Keep the neck long, lower abdominals connected, tailbone lengthened. There's small squeezes, otherwise you'll drop the ball. And last set. Good. Release down. Tuck your toes under. Bring yourself up, bottom back over your heels. Give the lower back a stretch out. And then let's come on to our other side for our glutes. So we're going to go back into our clam's position. So remember, we're putting the chi ball behind the knee. Upper body comes down. Nice alignment through the waist, starting with your basic clam. So just rotating and back down. So we got 8. So if you lose the chi ball at any time, just pop it back in. When you've done the last one of the 8, keep those hips nice and steady. We're going to bring it forwards and press it back behind you. So remembering, this is just the thigh bone moving. So we're just watching, the glute is doing the work here. If you prefer a cushion underneath your head or a block, obviously please do so. Most important thing, you don't want your neck to be aching at all. I always find if you do a slight rotation of your head, so your eyes, your gaze is down towards the floor, it takes any tension off through your neck. When you have done 8, come back into centre, into your circles. So you may find that one side has a better range of movement than the other side. 8 circles round, and then reverse it. Your glute should really be working now. And when you've done the last one of the 8, hold it, 8 small pulses. Good. Pop the chi ball out. In between your knees, last one for your glutes. Check that alignment, and we're going to rotate thigh bone in, small squeeze, and back, in, and back. It's not a big movement, and it's really effective at working those glutes. When you've done the last one, and we're going to pop the chi ball off to the side, bring the leg forwards, and give the glutes a little rub out. Okay, let's come on to our backs for a little bit of abdominal work. So we will start with our basic knee folds, and we're going to do them on the chi ball. chi ball just underneath your tailbone. Really important here, anyone who has back issues, we don't want to put it underneath our lower back. We definitely don't want to be arching. So you need to really focus. When you have this under your chi ball, just soften your ribs and keep this nice stable base here, nice stable core environment to keep it still. Hands come down to the mat. Let's do some basic knee folds. Coming up and back down. Opposite side and back down. So once you've found you're feeling quite stable on the chi ball, light touch on the mat, one leg up and second leg, hold it there. And one leg down and second leg down. So once you become more confident on the chi ball, you can start to add in some different movements. So we can hold up and go into toe taps or heel taps. Remembering the most important things on these is you keep that 90-degree angle. Okay, watch you don't start to do this and just work through your legs. Keep those abdominals really nice and strong. We can go into single leg stretch. Okay, so just keep it really nice and stable. And then when you next come in, hold it there. And let's lift through one arm. Keep it still, hold it for a couple of breaths. Place the arm down. Nice and light touch. And opposite side. So no gripping onto your mat. And then we can go for opposite arm, opposite leg, back in, and swap. Okay, so there's lots of variations you can do on the chi ball. We're going to bring it down. And we will do a little bit of extension and abdominal curls. So again, if you have lower back issues, this may or may not feel comfortable. We're going to start with a block behind our head. And then we can take it away if we're finding that we can get the right extension over the ball. So chi ball, just underneath bra strap area, thoracic spine. And we're going to bring the hands round behind the head. Find the correct placement so it feels comfortable. Keep the alignment through the rest of your body. Rib cage drawing down. So cradling your head in your hands, elbows out to the side. So you can just see your elbows from the corner of your eyes. We're going to do a breath in to extend over the ball and a breath out to abdominal curl up. Breath in to extend and a breath out, abdominal curl up. So if this range of movement feels fine, and you want to increase the range, you can take the block away from underneath your head. So then we can extend back a little bit further. Breath out. Rib cage turns down. Pulls your head and shoulders up to your abdominal curl. Breath in. Extend over the ball. And breath out, extend up. abdominal curl a little bit harder. So there's more range of movement for your abdominals to pull your head and shoulders up and over. If you want to take this movement a little bit further, when you come up to your end range, we can reach the arms forwards, come up a little higher, and then breath in to extend back. Let the arms come back with you, just as far as you can reach. Circle round as you breathe out, chin knots down, rib cage turns down, up to your abdominal curl. Come up higher, reach the arms up, breath in to extend back, circle round. Breath out to come back into your abdominal curl, and breath in, extend up, over and round. So there's lots of options for you to do here. Please listen to your body. If your body doesn't like this full extension, then please keep the block underneath your head. If your neck doesn't like the long arms, then please keep your head supported. Okay, lots of different options on that one for you. All right, let's take the Chi ball away nice and safely. And we are going to place it in between our knees. Let's finish off this with a lovely lengthening out through the front of the body. You've been working through on the abdominals. So just resting your hands down, nice and gently by your side, feet hip width apart. Very slight squeeze just to get that connection of inner thighs. And we're going to tilt through the pelvis, squeeze into the glutes, squeeze the inner thighs very slightly, and slowly peeling your spine up off the mat. Keeping your rib cage nice and soft, please. Shoulders connected to the mat, and focusing on really sending the knees away and opening up this space through your hip flexors. Keep it there, and then we're going to bring the hands up to the ceiling. Squeezing into your inner thighs a little bit more now. Hold that squeeze as you send the arms away from you. Holding the arms there as you replace the spine down. So we're focusing one vertebra at a time as you roll down. So as always, do bear in mind, please, that my spine has metal in it so it doesn't curl. So I may be saying curl your spine, but it may not look like I am. All right, and again, tilt through the pelvis, squeeze into the glutes, small connection of inner thighs. Peel your spine up. So just checking that imprint to the spine on the mat as you peel up. Rib cage nice and soft, send the knees away. Increase the squeeze of inner thighs, bring the hands up. Hold it there. Arms go overhead, keeping that squeeze. We're going to replace the spine. Back down. And arms come over. We'll do one more time, please. Tilt through the pelvis. Squeeze the glutes. Inner thigh connection, hold it. Rib cage nice and soft, send the knees away. Create that space through the front of your body. Hands come up, increase the squeeze. Arms overhead. And roll it down. And bring in your arms down. Good. Chi ball off to one side. If you bring your feet together, please, just let your knees fall out, stretch out through your inner thighs. And then bringing your legs back up to neutral. Hooking one ankle across to the opposite knee. Draw the knee in towards you and stretch out into our glutes. Place it sit down and swap your opposite side. And back down again. Let's do a full body stretch, lengthen away through the legs, through the arms. And of course, the favourite of all Chi ball exercises, I believe, is the relaxation. So Chi ball, just underneath your neck, rest your head down. And then nice and gently, just rolling your chin across, shoulder to shoulder. So just feeling your head imprint into the ball. Control the movement. And taking a moment just to focus on your breath. It's a great way to finish any workout. Just to bring your focus back in to yourself and to your breathing. So take as long as you want with this. You can have your legs extended or your knees bent. It's a really nice way to finish off your workouts. When you're ready, Chi ball off to one side. Bring yourself onto your side and up to seated. Okay, so that was just a few of the exercises we can do with Chi balls. There are so many more exercises. I will try and find a little bit more time and we'll do a few more sometime very soon. But I hope you enjoyed and let's get on with those Chi balls. All right, thanks very much. Bye-bye.